All right, for the double elimination, here we've got Alberto Rondina to take us through the heats.
For a double elimination, we had really strong winds and pretty challenging conditions. Everybody was, struggling with the landings, and most of the guys were on small kites, and that makes every trick harder.
Today is pretty windy. It's the windiest I've seen here in Morocco. The head judge just said it's like 30 knots plus on the tower. So yeah, it should be really interesting and really tough conditions.
Coming up, from the first rounds of the double until the 9th place was Schiedshofer. He came all the way against Renan Romeo from Brazil, and the second guy was Mario, the guy from Brazil that has been on fire the whole day. So he also did plenty of heats, and he made it all the way until 6th place. Then, for sure there was Yuri. Yuri was also the main guy of the day. I was personally, really impressed how powerful he was riding. Already after, so short his recovery, and it was killing it. To help me commentating the girls division, I have here one of the top competitors in the girls, Ela Borkotska.
Alright, in the women's division, the first heat in the top part was between Bruna Kajia and Annaluz Lammerts. Both girls show some really consistent riding. Annaluz is really consistent with her heat. She has 3-on-3s, blundages, Usman passes, late mopes. And Bruna definitely showing that she's back in the game. She threw some big tricks, and she was able to take the win in this one. Right after that, Bruna proceeded into another heat against Annabelle van Westerop from Aruba, in which Annabelle wasn't so lucky. She lost her kite and she was not able to launch it on time. So Bruna took advantage of that, and she took the win in this heat. Bruna had definitely climbed a lot in the double elimination. And in the heat against Carolina, she really showed that she's 100% back on her game. They were both doing really technical tricks, especially for the really tough conditions. There was 34 knots during the girls' comp. So it was really challenging.
Carolina usually really consistent, but in that heat maybe she got a little stressed, or she was a bit of, also condition was pretty hard, so she had a bit of bad checks in all the landings, and quite surprisingly, Bruna was riding really consistent also in those conditions. So she also took the win over Carolina.
So I think one of the highlights of the day was that Bruna Kajia did a really great job climbing up all the way up to the ladder from 4th place all the way to the 2nd. And you have to know that it was pretty cold and the conditions were tough, so she was definitely cold and tired. While Gisela that was for her first heat of the day. Gisela has lately her late mopes dialed in, so she throws them in almost every heat, which is really cool to watch. I think Gisela is a bit more used to riding in really tough conditions. And Bruna, I think a little bit scared after her injury. Maybe she was playing it a little bit safe. And in the end, Gisela took the win.
I'm really motivated after this first place. That gives me a lot of energy to train hard and keep on going, because now we have Leucad, the next stage of the World Tour. It's similar conditions. I think we're gonna ride small kites, and it's gonna be a strong wind and a bit cold. But yeah, I have a lot of motivation, and I want to keep on training hard, new tricks, and try to ride as better as possible.
Alright, so back to the men's. We are up in the top 5 positions, and it was a really tough heat between the top contender from Brazil, Mario, and Yuri Zone, the 2-time world champion coming back from injury. Both guys, they've been going through a few heats in the double. They both did at least 3 or 4 heats, and so they were kind of getting tired, but still going massive. And Yuri going really big also in the tricks coming in. It was really close score, for less than a point. Yuri made it at the end. Going up in the top 4, was Yuri against Alex Neto from Brazil, and you would say that Alex is used to like Fortaleza, conditions, so for light wind and pretty mellow condition, but it was really killing it, even in the strong winds and even with a small kite. And it did a really insane job, riding super powerful with the kite really low, and he managed to beat Yuri, even if Yuri after a lot of heats was getting tired, and especially his shoulder was feeling tired. So definitely good job for Yuri. After that, Neto had to go up against Aaron, that was waiting, in the third spot. So it was the, heat for a podium, which is always, super tough. And they were both, really killing it in the super tough conditions. They were throwing really nice toe side tricks and going really big off any trick like this S-bend 3, like massive ones. Aaron struggled a little bit in the tricks coming in. He was back checking and sometimes falling. So he also lost for less than a point with Neto. It was a really cool heat, but Neto made it to the podium again, so for sure it was really stoked. Waiting in second position was Mark Jacobs from New Zealand, and everybody knows that Mark, he rides really well when the strong winds and very challenging conditions. So as you see, he was killing it. He was going massive and as in any trick and doing really powerful front blind mops or double S3 and. Neto was still going big, but at the end, the amplitude of the jumps of Mark, make the difference, and he made it to the finals. Mark Jacobs is now moving on into the final heat of the event here in Dakla. And in order to get into the top spot of the podium, he's got to have to dethrone Christoph Dack, who since winning the single elimination is sitting in first place. Mark, as being quite a big guy, he was riding really powerful and really strong, especially in these really tough conditions. And I think it's a pretty good strategy, even if it's it might be risky, trying a big trick at the beginning, but it definitely paid off, because Christoph, after that maybe he was kind of stressed out, and he was pushing it maybe a bit too much, and he was not landing very clean, and that made the heat a little easier for Mark. He won by more than 4 points, so it was a pretty clear final, but definitely really exciting heat to watch.
Yeah, I'm super stoked, I've been beating my tech a few times now, and it's just driven me even more to just beat him, so I managed to do it. It's my kind of conditions. I love being powered. Just went all balls nuts into it, and it worked out, and I'm super stoked, man.